Hello everyone. Well, I am so amazed at how fast the garden is waking up right now. Since the last time I did a video showing you some of the blooms in March, right now it's April and I just feel there are a lot more plants that are blooming right now, and I feel like if I don't share, if I don't document all of this with you, we might be missing out. And especially if you are in the same growing zone, same growing environment as me, you can see some of the plants that are blooming right now. That way, if you would like to get the same plants, you can be expecting blooms next year or even later on this year as well. So earlier when I mentioned April, it is only April 2nd and plants are bursting with blooms already. It seems like it's a lot faster than last year. So we'll start with the plant behind me right now. So we'll start here at the community garden. This is a garden that my neighbor and I share. I just put this snowball, Chinese snowball viburnum right here just recently from the Berm garden because I think it would make sense, would make a better statement. Here is just a beautiful plant. It's going to get big, so there'll be plenty of space here for it, plenty of room for it to move and for everybody to enjoy, especially when we are driving by this way. All right, so let's look at this view. You got to appreciate the beautiful ornamental cherries. There are 3 of them here. This one seems to produce more bigger bloom heads. Not sure if they're the exact same variety. These were original to the property. When we purchased the property, they were on these, of course, on the smaller size. So they have grown exponentially since then. So look at how beautiful they are. All the beautiful blooms, that is. So I don't know if you can see that. It's just cloudy, full of pollen still. So we are still with a lot of pollen. Let's come to this bed, the Japanese maple bed. And this is a new plant to me. This is a trailing thyme. I believe it's called pink chintz thyme. I could be wrong. And I did not think that it was going to bloom already because they were just recently purchased. So purchased 2 plants and divided them into 5 different clumps. Here's another one. I've seen photos or videos of them. I think they will do better, say, on a rocky slope garden, but I needed some filler ground cover over here, and they are supposed to be low to the ground, which is what I would like it to be. So we'll see how aggressive this gets. So this is a new to me plant again. I'm hoping that it will fill up this space really well right here and then also right there as well. And I have 3 clumps over there. Just needed something as a ground cover to fill up that space as well. All right, so this is Candytuft. This was purchased last season, last year that is, and I do not remember the specific species for this. If I remember it, I'll put it on the screen for you, but I just love it. It's so beautiful, very easy to grow. It is a perennial, same with that trailing thyme mentioned earlier. So Candytuft, perennial, beautiful plant. All right, next up is this banana shrub. I do not know the species. I believe it was just labeled as a banana shrub, when it was purchased in 2020. And when the sun is out and evening time with the light breeze, this whole garden would be filled with the fragrance of ripe bananas. And this plant is contributing to that along with a few more. So beautiful plant. This is part of the magnolia family. This one produces beautiful light yellow blooms with pink tips. So this is another good one to have if you're in the same growing zone, same growing condition as me. Just make sure that you position it or plant it in an area that you want, because when the stem is that thick or that big, at least, I would say at least 3 inches in diameter, and it likes a location, it will not budge. So it is, to me, it is considered a small tree. So this definitely could be a specimen plant or a screening plant. Let's walk across our little bridge here and come to this Admiral semi-native azalea. I just love native azaleas. They perform better. They just look so much better in this garden here versus the regular azaleas. So if you love the scent similar to honeysuckles, this is a good plant to have. They come in different colors. So if you're not into this kind of yellowish color, they come in pink as well, and probably white also. It really does offer 4 seasons of interest. So later on, when it finishes blooming, you'll start to see leaves coming out. And then in the fall, you'll get yellow foliage, fall foliage, and then during the winter, you'll get seed heads that look like, or I shouldn't say seed heads. I'm not sure if they're actually, yeah, I think they do have seeds in there. I've never inspected it very carefully, but definitely these are bloom heads. So these are bloom heads from the previous season. I just think they offer a nice contrast to the very bright yellow color. And coming here, we have this rosemary. Oh, I see a lizard right here. You see that? There are some blooms on it right now, along with some of the other rosemaries in different garden beds. So now this doesn't look the best, of course, because I don't prune it like I should. But yes, but rosemary, you should prune it on a regular basis, because once it gets very woody, where there's not any green around, then it's not going to produce any more foliage. So some of this was from winter damage. I should probably go in and cut some more down there. So that's something I need to do. All right, next we come to another sterile Chinese snowball viburnum, and look at all the bloom heads. So this one, it has opened up. Look at how beautiful that is. And now in the fall, the bloom heads were a lot flatter, almost like pancake-like. In the spring, you get more of fuller bloom heads all around, resembling hydrangeas. So this is your spring hydrangeas. To me, they look like that. Now, I love this plant when the bloom heads look like this, when they are green like this, because when they become white, I don't know, they just look like neon white. Don't think I like that very much. When that time comes, I will show you what is meant by that. But right now, I just want to enjoy the green. All right, so the last time, I don't think these daffodils were blooming over here. So these were planted, I want to say late. I know they were planted in February. So I don't know when exactly, but look at how beautiful they are. I did not think that they were going to bloom. They were just, I had bulbs just sitting in the garage and I must have forgotten about them or really didn't know where quite to plant them. So glad that they were planted this season instead of seeing the bulbs destroyed. So anyway, they're all here. You can see most of them are not blooming. They might not be blooming this year at all, and that's what was expected. But these three guys decided that they want to show their beauty this year, and I'm glad that they did because they were a mixture of different daffodils. So I'm glad that I got to see these. Oh, there's another one right there, so 4. So those other ones, not sure what they will look like yet. All right, now we are in the woodland garden and look at that. We'll be going down there. All right, so this is rhododendron. I believe this is called Southgate rhododendron. And look at all the beautiful blooms. My goodness, I think this is the best year that it has performed. This one by far the best because there are other ones too. That one, those two are farther into the woodland area. Not as many blooms because they are definitely competing with all the trees. Look at how beautiful these are. A lot of what you see here could be due to pollen. There's a lot of pollen on the foliage, but I know that it doesn't get all the nutrients that it needs, of course, because it is competing with the tree roots over here. So I did fertilize it once a year, of course. When we come up, you'll see dogwood blooms. I don't know if I can get a good shot for you, but yes, beautiful dogwood blooms. And usually I miss them. I would miss them, but I am so glad that I get to share this with you. We get to enjoy them together. All right, so now we come to this magnolia plant. And I believe it was just labeled as magnolia or Japanese magnolia, so I do not know the species of it. But look at the beautiful yellow with, I guess, with pink blooms. So this is actually a rare magnolia, and I believe this is supposed to be a columnar shape magnolia. And I am so glad that there are so many blooms this year compared to previous years. And this was planted in 2020, and I did not want it to grow big, so I chopped off the leader, which I probably should not have done that because Well, to my defense, at the time, I did not know that this was a columnar shape plant. So glad that it is a lot healthier right now or this year, and you can tell because there are so many more blooms. You probably couldn't tell, of course, but there are a lot more blooms this season than the previous years since it has been planted. All right, last but not least, Stella Ruby magnolia. And there are two plants here. This one was pruned back earlier, and the blooms are finally here. Look at all those, and just so many buds. It is amazing how there are so many buds to this plant. And this is also, this plant and this one are both contributing to that ripe banana scent that was mentioned earlier in the video. So anyways, just a beautiful plant. All right, my friends, I think this is it for this video. So if you are in the same growing zone, same growing condition as me here, I hope you were able to find some plants that you like, that you would like to include in your garden for this season or for next season. And I know that you will likely get lots of blooms like I have right now. So even if you're not in the same growing condition, same growing zone as me here, there are some plants that you can probably still grow. Just make sure that when you do buy the plants, just pay attention to the plant tag to see what zones they could be grown in, because a lot of the plants are just not suitable for just one zone. They usually have a range of zone, and if you're at that borderline, it just means that you might need to protect that plant during winter, either plant it in a more protected area or bring it into like a protected structure. So with that, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and until the next one, take care and bye for now. Well, thank you again for watching the video. If you would like to support my channel, please subscribe and watch some of the other videos. The video links are up above for you. So with that, thank you so much in advance. Take care and bye for now.